Welcome everybody. This is Sahil. Well, today I decided to do some kind of a podcast you can think, but it's like a solo one. So I'm just going to randomly discuss certain topics. It could be anything. So it's just about interest and just randomly playing out whatever comes in my mind. It just I'm gonna throw it at you. So it's better you catch it than you just miss it. That's up to you. But let's see what I'm going to do. So today I thought about what topics we can talk about, and one topic which I really think is close to my heart and my life, my suffering, and everything. I think that is life, why we are here, the meaning of it. One thing that most people try to do is this somewhere trying to philosophize these things. It's okay, and there is that is one aspect of life that we philosophize, intellectually try to pursue things. Another we emotionally try to do it. That is usually the bhakt kind of people, the devotees kind of people. But none of this seems to solve or actually look at problems of our time, the suffering that humanity goes through. None of it seems to really cater to the well-being of humanity. So I've been thinking like, what should be our attitude and what should I say? So here are what I have to say. I mean, exactly, I don't know what going to talk about a lot, but somewhere my understanding states this to me, or at least dictate this to me. When we say why, when we look at our human life, there is suffering. Nobody can negate that. If there is any idiot who say that life is without suffering, he is a nutcase. He is an idiot. You should reject him on immediate basis. Stop listening to anybody who states that life is suffering. No, no, no. Anybody who states that life is not suffering, it's all bliss, it's all happiness, reject the man immediately. There could be possibility for that. I mean, I'm making a very generalized statement. There could be exceptions to it, but exceptions is not something which I'm going to talk about today. It's about our own life. Somebody who's not having money, somebody who's having a lot of money, somebody is struggling in between, but somewhere suffering of different levels. On different levels, it is there in their life, and everybody is going through suffering. And suffering is also many times. Somebody is going through emotional suffering, somebody is going through mental suffering. There's a difference between emotional, it's like every time or a moment or 24 hours, once a week, once a year, once a month, some sort of emotion just captures your whole entity and they just make you go crazy, make you angry, make you feel agitated for no reason or for some reason which they cook up in your own head. Or mental suffering is like some thought is just going to just making you go crazy, just torturing you to hell. Literally, you're experiencing hell in your life. So there is emotional, there is mental, which is you can call it suffering, which is caused due to your thoughts patterns. There is physical suffering. Your body is not properly able to breathe. Your brain doesn't work properly. Your ear doesn't listen properly. Hmm? Your certain functions of the body doesn't do it properly. Somebody doesn't have a hand. Somebody doesn't have a proper body. All kinds of issues. So physical suffering. This is naturals. This is comes a natural sphere. Then there is a created thing that we suffer, which humans have created. That is called, the most important of them is I call money. It's money. Financial suffering. A lot of us, after taking all these three intrinsic, which comes to us as humans, and there is a reason why I'm not saying money is not intrinsic, because it's created by us. We could have created a better system, though we have not thought about it in that direction yet, but not in a way we could have a better system. So at least Externally, apart from these three dimensions, we have the fourth one, which is money. Those who don't have it suffer it. Those who have it suffer it. Those who have it but can't keep it, or they don't have enough of it, they anyway suffer it. So this kind of suffering is going on financial terms. So life we have categorized into four areas. One, mental, emotional, physical, and finance. Four suffering. There is some say fifth direction they have suffering, because if all of these are fulfilled or somewhat in a somewhat balance, then we suffer what we say spiritual suffering. But we are not going to talk about that today. That's just a rare case for a lot of people. So why do we have suffering in life? Now here is what I think. Some people try to philosophize this thing, that religious people, Abrahamic religions, if you go, or even the Indian somewhere, they have got this thing up that it's because God has created you to give certain tests in this world, and once you complete certain tests, then some divine chartered accountants will be always keeping some accounts. They may be here with me also, they're keeping my accounts as well, who knows. So once you die, depending upon your proper balance sheet, you will be transferred to different dimensions. One is known as hell, another one is known as heaven. That is one. Another people, intellectual people, they people, intellectual also many type. Okay, some are influenced, religious influenced people. They will also justify heaven or hell in a very better way. They also know it's not hell. It's they will try to justify. Like they will say, tell you, no, no, heaven is not that. Heaven is a state when we die. So there could be a possibility of truth. They won't say there is heaven. They will say there could be a possibility for heaven, and the possibility is very strong. So, but that doesn't mean we have to live in a mediocre way like the religious people do. So they will be little bit intellectual in their mind, which is okay. Spiritual people. Well, actually, the word spiritual is a very Christianized word. So in Christianity, I think the word spiritual is largely related to the word spirit, which is soul and all that stuff. Loosely, I'm saying. But the meaning that we have given to the word spirituality as of now, we can say that turning inward or looking inward within yourself, trying to introspect and see what is inside of you, not looking for peace outside, not looking for happiness outside, trying to find it inside. We don't know. That's the truth. We really don't know. But that is one aspect of it. So these people will give you answer that self-suffering is created by us. We have created suffering due to our thought patterns, the way we live. Karma is a big concept in that. We really don't know. So despite all these answers that we have, now here is what my perspective tells me. See, anything that we ascribe to, anything that has been said, whether you ascribe to the religious one, intellectual one, or the spiritual one, somewhere it gives you comfort to trust that. I'm not using the word belief. These people are retarded, but they are rated. It's okay. It supports certain people require that belief also, but belief is largely not what I'm talking about. That's why I'm using the word consciously as trust. So you trust that there could be certain things like that, but that's not the whole thing, because all the philosophy, we can all say that all of this is philosophy. So these philosophized things does request you or needs you to believe or trust the process. Once you trust, you enter your experiment, and somehow you get these certain experiences, and based on which your beliefs or your trust becomes so strong that you believe this is the way to go out of it. So, countless people have walked this planet. Many intellectuals, many spiritual, many religious too. And they've given their own way. Somewhere the way seems to be ending on three to four things: love for yourself, love for God, repenting for your sins, preventing yourself from committing stupid or sinful activities, keeping yourself or conducting your life in a righteous way, having good intentions, being a moral follower, somebody who conducts his life in a very moral and ethical way. So these things people have given. I mean, this is four or five basic things if you want to see. But despite of all this thing, nothing seems to be a solution. The problem persists. Human suffering still persists. It was few thousand years ago. It is and it will be. Then what is the way out? See, this is not something that can be answered very easily. That what is the way out for it? If there was a way out, it could have been said because many intelligent beings have walked this planet. It could have been said earlier also, 5,000 years, 2,000 years back. But none of that has been said. And whatever has been said hasn't been followed or doesn't seem to be the only way. Despite having many ways, still we don't seem to have a proper way where masses can be put. So there are two conclusions we can have. Suffering could be a way to remind us or to redirect us towards certain aspects of reality or existence that we are unaware of while we are alive, not when we are dead. While we are alive, this is the emphasis. That is one. Another could be that suffering is just an integral part of who we are. No matter how spiritual, intelligent, religious we become, some people may escape it, but a lot of us will have to experience it, minimum at a certain point in our life. Most of us may experience it on a regular basis. A regular need not be a day to day basis, monthly, weekly, it could be anything like that. So only these two conclusions I come to my mind when I think about suffering. Either it is integral or it is like a message to redirect us towards something. Now, whether we should call it, even address it as something, I don't know. But this is just my understanding. I'm telling you, it's not kind of a truth that I'm revealing to you. So you can develop your own understanding. But this is the two things I can only think about when it comes to suffering as of now. In future, I may improve my understanding or experience, but this seems to be the present understanding. And it's not something that I wrote down somewhere and then I'm trying to tell you. It's just coming randomly. That's why there is not that much clear frequency in the speech. Because just coming, I'm thinking and I'm telling you. I'm thinking and telling you. I'm trying to connect the dots and then telling you. So this seems to be the suffering. Now, when these two conclusions comes, what is the way out? When it comes to integral aspect, this is a fact we must accept. Not all of us, 50% or lot of many of us will have to live in a manageable way. Somewhere you will experience, somewhere you may not experience. You will have to go like this. For certain people, it may be less due to their intelligence or circumstances in which they are born. For some people, it may be extreme, but just because they have certain intelligence to see things, or certain people to have them, or to redirect them, they may be able to escape it at some point in their life. So, if it is integral, that is the only way seems to be that you must be gifted with certain sense of intelligence, or with people, or with situation, which can just knock on your head and open things up that how stupidly you're living, and then you can improve. When it comes to redirection, in that scenario, the most important thing remains the awareness. Are we aware of every action that is taking place? Not on a very core level, because I don't think that is possible for a beginner. Not even for me, it's possible as of now. But on a regular basis, trying to learn from the external situations, the internal mental situations that are taking place, and little bit contemplative we must become. Then there could be a possible layout or a way we can craft that this could be a next step, not the ultimate next step. Never try to delude yourself in thinking the ultimate when you do not know your next step. If you do not know the next step, most probably you don't know where the hell will be your ultimate. So this is all for today. Let me This is going to be the first solo podcast. I've not decided to what name I should give it, but just uploaded it. Even if one of you have watched it or if none of you have watched it, I've said what I've had to. Let's see how it goes. Thank you so much.